Hello, welcome internet users. Thank you for joining me again today as we continue along in looking at key words that bring out the true meaning of Christ's death. As we dig into this, just kind of a quick reminder, we looked to part one, I should say. Part one was redemption. Part two was reconciliation. And we come to another big Bible school word today. We're going to look at propitiation. Big word, amazing results. Let's go ahead and just jump in Romans chapter 3, starting in verse 21 and going through 26. It says, "But now the righteousness of God has been manifested apart from the law. Although the law and the prophets bear witness to it, the righteousness of God through faith in Jesus Christ for all who believe. For there is no distinction, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and are justified by his grace as a gift through redemption that is in Christ Jesus, whom God put forward as a propitiation by his blood to be received by faith. This was to show God's righteousness, because in his divine forbearance he had passed over former sins. It was to show his righteousness at the present time, so that he might be just and the justifier of the one who has faith in Jesus Christ." As we look at this, I'm using an ESV study Bible that I got for Christmas from my mother-in-law. There's a wonderful footnote in here that says, "Christ died as a propitiatory sacrifice that satisfies the divine judgment against sinners and satisfies the Father's wrath against them, bringing about forgiveness and justification. Therefore, the death of Jesus Christ is the ground whereby God is favorably inclined or disposed toward the sinner." Maybe you remember in the Old Testament when Moses received the instructions for building the tabernacle and all the items that were to be built or carved and placed inside, items that were to be used in worship and sacrifice to God. One of those items was the Ark of the Covenant. Maybe you recall the Ark of the Covenant. It was a box that was made, it was about 4 feet long. It was about 2.5 feet wide and about 2.5 feet tall. On the top of the ark, in the center on the top, there was a seat. And on either side, there were carved angels or cherubim. That seat in the center was called the mercy seat. We see in Exodus 25, verse 22, God says, "There I will meet with you. And from above the mercy seat, from between the 2 cherubim that are on the ark of the testimony, I will speak with you about all that I give you in commandment for the people of Israel." Back to that footnote in Romans chapter 3, it says, Martin Luther, maybe you remember who Martin Luther was. If you don't, look him up. Martin Luther. It says, he recognized that the Greek word here translated as propitiation in the Greek is hilasterion. I think that's correct. Hilasterion. And it's used in that Exodus 25:22 that we just read, translating to English the word mercy seat. In speaking to his people, God said of the mercy seat, "There I will meet with you." And then when we look in Exodus 3:25, where it says, whom God put forward as a propitiation by his blood to be received by faith, it says, this showed Luther that Christ is our mercy seat. God meets us at the cross. You know, God cannot look favorably upon the sinner apart from the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. Maybe you remember the parable Jesus shared about the Pharisee and the tax collector that were praying. And the Pharisee stood on the corner and he like raises his arms, right? And he says, "Thank God I'm not like other men." And then he lists all these men he feels are evil, including even a tax collector. Then he lists all the good things he'd done. This is in Luke chapter 18. Then it says, "But the tax collector, standing far off, would not even lift up his eyes toward heaven. But he beat his chest, saying, 'God, be merciful to me, a sinner.'" You see, God is propitiated. The sinner is reconciled. Hey, thank you guys for watching. Have an awesome day, and look forward to sharing again tomorrow. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.